Welcome back, Year 5, to your maths lesson. I hope you enjoyed doing your maths yesterday on Teams. I was really pleased to see many of you answering those questions, and some of you did amazingly well, showing me that you really have understood adding and subtracting decimals. Today, we're going to be looking at multiplying decimals, and that is going to be our learning objective for the day. All right, and again, this is a revision from the first week, just to ensure that everybody is making sure that they are accessing this work and that they're able to understand multiplication of decimals. But before we dive into that, we're going to be looking at our starter. So here are your 5 questions for your starter. All right, there's a division, there's a short multiplication. If you can remember back to using our rounding knowledge, rounding this number to 1 decimal place. This is our equivalent fraction knowledge. So what have I done to the 8 to get 24? That is a 4. That doesn't look very clear. So what must I do to the 3? And what is the digit in the tens place of this number? I just want the digit. So pause your video now and have a go at answering your starter. Super, let's have a quick mark and then we can move on. Right, we've got our divisions question first. So we're going to do our bus stop. And we're going to be dividing by 7. Right, 7 can't go into 6. Remember, I always say that these are the amount, 1. These are the amount of sweets I have. And I say 7, and I can't make a group of 7 with only 1 sweet. But I don't throw it away. I have to regroup it. 7 goes into 16 twice, which is 14. And then I'm left with 2. 7 goes into 27 3 times, which is 21. And I'm left with 6. And 7 goes into 68. Oh, I've got to think now. 56, which is 8, 16, 56, 9. 9 times 7 is 63. So it'll be 9 times, which is 63. And then I'm left with remainder 5. Okay, using your times table knowledge there. And if we get a big number like this, then like I did, I found one that I do know, and we all should know 7 times 8 is 56, because 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so then I could work out 7 times 9. All right, which is going to be 63. And then what am I left with? If I've got 68 and I take away 63, I'm left with 5. All right, so that is the answer for number 1. Number 2, short multiplication, 29 times 6. Okay, right. So I set my work out, make sure I'm timesing. 6 times 9 is 54. Put my 4, carry my 5. 6 times 2 is 12, and 12 plus 5 is 17. Okay, so 174. Right, rounding this to 1 decimal place. Right, so my little riddle is find the number, 1 decimal place. So there's the first number after decimal. Underline the number next door. If it is 5 or more, we're going to raise the score. If it's 4 or less, we're going to let it rest. And because it is 4 and less, we're going to let this number rest. So everything to the left of it, we write exactly the same. That didn't look like a very nice 6. 6, 7, don't forget the decimal, and I'm going to leave the 3, and I leave it like that. I do not put a 0, otherwise I've given 2 decimal places after decimal. Remember, I only want 1 digit after the decimal, okay? And question number 4, what have I done to 8 to get 24? I've multiplied it by 3, so whatever I do to the one number, I need to do to the other number. So this is going to be 3 times 3, which is 9. And then having a look at yesterday, many of you do not understand the word digit. A digit is just a single number, 1 number on its own, okay? It's not the value. The value is how much it is worth, whereas a digit is a single number, and I'm looking at the tens place, okay? So I'm going to go find my tens column, which is the 9, and I just want the digit, so I'm just going to write 9, not 90. If they said to me, what is the value of the digit in the tens place, then I would say 90. But I'm not asking for the value. I just want to know what is the digit. What is that one number? So hopefully you've done really well with your starter. Okay, remember those who are struggling a little bit, Go back, rewind, see if you can figure it out when we've gone through the answer so that you can really learn from your mistakes. Now, as I said, we're going to be looking at multiplying decimals. Now, we have done this, but there are some children who haven't been able to get on and complete the online learning tasks. So we're just going to go through it again. And I do see that I'm living in the past here, and this is meant to be 21. All right. So let's have a look. So our big question today is, you can very quickly, without having to work anything out there, can you see where I have gone wrong? There are two things that I've done that I haven't done correctly. So if you need to pause the video, you can pause the video now. But there's one very obvious one that is incorrect, and maybe another one that's also quite obvious to you. Great, hopefully you have realized that first of all, I haven't added this one in my number, in my answer. Okay, I said 3 times 5 is 15. And then I said 3 times 2 is 6. And I didn't add this one. So it's very important that we're not forgetting to add any extras. And my second one, which I think many of you would have seen first thing, is that my decimal point is in the wrong place. Remember, if there's one digit, now you can hear that word digit coming up, there's one digit after decimal, then I have to put my decimal, counting one digit and then putting the decimal. So there, I've got one digit after my decimal, one digit after my decimal, okay? Right, so let's have a quick look at multiplying decimal numbers by whole numbers. And then those of you who are feeling quite confident with this, you can go straight onto Teams, log on and do the 10 questions. Remember, it does get marked, which means if you're not fully understanding it and you're being lazy and you're not taking the time to go through this, you will more than likely not get a very good score. So use this time in your lesson. Remember, this lesson is not meant to last you 5 minutes. So if you do want to do a few practice ones with me, then do that so that you can get those marks. Right, so first of all, we're going to set out our work nice and neatly. Okay, and now we do our multiplication as normal. Those of you who are struggling with your multiplication facts, after this lesson, go and hit the button or log on to TT Rockstars or anything that you can do to practice your times table knowledge, because that is incredibly important. Right, 5 times 7 is 35. So I put my 5 and I carry my 3. Right, then I can put my decimal if you want straight away. So I have one digit. So I have one digit after my decimal. Right, so then 5 times 2 is 10. 10 plus 3 is 13. Carry the 1. And 5 times 3 is 15. Plus 1 is 16. And that is my answer. Right, see if you can have a go at this one on your own. So pause the video now and see if you can get the same answer as me. Good luck. Great, let's see how you did. So we're going to write our number, 16.3 multiplied by 4. Right, 4 times 3 is 12. Carry the 1. If you want to put the decimal in your answer straight away, you can. Otherwise, don't forget to do it at the end. Okay, then 4 times 6 is 24. 24 plus 1 is 25. Carry the 2. And 4 times 1 is 4 plus 2 is going to be 6. Okay, hopefully you got that correct. If you need to go and just do a double check, I'm going to double check my answer just because I want to make certain that I'm doing the correct method. So 4 times 3 is 12, 2 carry the 1, 4 times 6 is 24, plus 1 is 25, carry the 2, and 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. And that took me a whole couple of 5 seconds to quickly make sure that I'm fairly happy with my answer, that it's correct. Okay. Right, this is just those steps to success in order to get our answers. So that's success criteria of how we can answer these questions. They've just put the 6 underneath here because it's obviously representing a whole. We just normally write it here so we don't get confused. It's the same thing though. Don't forget the decimal in our answer, all right? And we must not forget to also regroup. Right, if you would like to have a few practice ones now before you go on to the quiz, you may. So you can pause the video now, have a go at those 4 and see what you get as the answers. And if you get all 4 correct, then you can feel very certain that you're going to do really well in the quiz. Those of you who feel very confident about this, you can go straight onto the quiz now and you can go and answer those 10 questions. So log into your Teams account, go and look for the maths channel, and then go and find the quiz for today. And then those children who just want a bit of extra practice, have a go at these 4, pause the video now, and then give them a go. Great, let's see how you did. Here are your answers for those 4 questions. If you got all 4 correct, I think you can definitely now go and log onto Teams and go and complete those 4 questions. Those of you who don't have Teams, hopefully you would have done those 4 questions, and then you can take a picture and send us to year5@theprimaryacademy.com. And that is all for today. If you did kind of struggle with this, either not knowing your times table knowledge, get up a times table grid so that you can look for those answers. Alternatively, go back in the video and watch how we did the method to see where you're going wrong. Otherwise, have a wonderful, wonderful day and enjoy the rest of your learning. And I will see you back tomorrow.